What's up, everyone? It's me, Adam Prime, and I'm here to talk about Kyoryuzin, DX Kyoryuzin full action version. And as you can tell, this is for Juden Sentai Kyoryuger. And if you're being technical, this is kind of part of the King Oger timeline, but toy line. Um, I'm very excited to talk about this. I'm going to open up with saying this video is Kyoryuger is the first Sentai I ever watched. It was the first series I ever properly watched. Obviously, yes, I was watching Power Rangers and such, but this is the first one. So this has a lot of weird nostalgic value to me. Like, I have been wanting a Kyoryugen in my collection since I've been 15. So I have been watching this stuff for 10 years, and I'm so happy to finally have one. And spoiler alert, this is amazing. I'm not gonna hide it. Like, I love this figure. We will get into it, but they perfectly recreated the packaging, and I'm so glad I almost waited. One, because I was 15 and I had no money, so I definitely could not buy expensive Toku toys. But you know, it kind of worked out because I got a really nice posable version out of it. Sadly, it has no Judenchi or Judenchi compatibility like the original Kyoryugen, and sadly, I think because of certain things they had to do to make it posable, it has some other sacrifices as well, and it's also smaller, I think. I sadly do not have the original Kyoryugen, as I've said. But let's take a look at the box. Like, it's so cool that they recreated it. You got Gabutyra, Stegotchi, Dricera. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Obviously, you have the big man right here, and it looks so good. You got Gabutyra. You get 3 of them. On the side, it even still shows you Kyoryu red, blue, and pink. And they obviously form regular Kyoryugen. Like, I think it's so cool they just recreated the packaging. Sadly, did not give you instructions. And here's the one thing that tells you this was from King Oger, because there's its logo, and it can become King Kyoryugen. And you got that on the side. I'm saving the top for last. You got more Gabutyra, all 3 of them. It's like the toy too. And then on the top, you obviously have Kyoryugen's face and all 5 Kyoryugers, which is really cool. Like, I think, like, this is such weirdly cool packaging, mostly because they didn't make it look like Kyoryuger's packaging. They didn't make it look like King Oger's packaging. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Kyoryuger for everything, but I really do hope they do more full action versions, honestly, but I will get into that in the end spiel. But like, this is just so cool that they decided just to be like, no, this is a Kyoryuger toy. Like, I'm surprised it doesn't say anything for like the 10th anniversary or anything either. But I think it's pretty cool. And you know, we're gonna look at the dinosaurs individually first. I think we're gonna do Gabutyra, and then we will get into Stegotchi and Dricera, and then we will get into the combinations, because there's a lot of different little things to show off. I have some comparisons I really want to do, so we are going to get to those. But what do you guys think? Don't eat him though. Don't eat Kyoryugen. It's not good for you. So there you go. That's pretty much the box. I feel like I rambled a lot on this box, but I'm so excited to talk about Kyoryuger. I'm so excited. So yeah, let's get him in here, and we'll get Gabutyra in here, and then we will see what he's like. Not throwing it. It's too nice. So let's start off with the big boy himself. We got Gabutyra, and he looks great. I have a few little nitpicks with it, but I get the sacrifice for it. And I know a lot of people are really hoping we get full action versions of the rest of the Kyoryuger mecha. If you're going by this toy, I don't know how well that is planned, because for some combinations we obviously need these 2 clips that are on its like tit, and those aren't really usable at the moment, but it can come apart, because in the box they actually all came in pieces. So if you really wanted to, or do you have to rotate it? we might have to get into that later. But yeah, came in parts like the like Gabutyra, like minus the tail, was all one chunk. You had to pop the feet on. You had to pop like the waist on. Like I don't know if you can take him apart after you've done it. Oh, there it is. See, you can take him apart. And it's pretty much like a leg joint almost, but it's like specialized, so it's like it only fits in one way, and it acts as pretty much a waist swivel for Kyoryuzin. And then that's how you connect this bit. And you also have to connect the feet. The feet are on ball joints, which is great. And the feet can move all sorts of ways around. And we will get to the Kyoryuzin like things. And honestly, if you could like get him, like if you got a nice enough stand, and this just slides in, see these grooves right into there, and you got Gabutyra. But obviously there are some certain like downsides. Kyoryuzin's head is just here, like he's just hanging out. So I just kind of try to tuck it and tuck his head in so you can't see his face at all. But obviously, if you remember the original toy, this was a helmet that hid in the tail. That doesn't do that anymore. But I also get it because that means it would have had to fit into this and it would have been smaller. So I get it. Like any of my gripes, I get the sacrifice for it. So his arms can go up and down, both of them individually. You got some really great articulation in the head. He has a ball joint, opening jaw. So yeah. You get like a faux Judenchi in there, or like a gun, I guess. And you pretty much get these like ball, like butterfly joints, which can allow you to curl the tail in, which can get you some really cool posing. And you can obviously rotate these because these are the shoulder joints. You might not want to do it with the tail, but it's actually really kind of fun to do it with Gabutyra's head. He's curious. I love him. I love him so much. I just love this design. Like, this may be... This or Abba Ranger is my favorite Toku T-Rex design. Like, it's so good. The articulation for Dino Mode is okay, but it's all you really need. It doesn't really need a knee joint, but you can move him so he can look up and, like, roar at the sky. Or even do his little dance that he did at the end. Like, it's a little out of frame. Let me pull back a little bit. Nope. Now you can see the microphone. But yeah, like he has some range, man. Like it's good range. Like it's great. He's nice, posable. Like if we bring in some comparisons, let's bring in the first comparison that we obviously have to make with Kyoryuger, which he is a fair bit bigger. Fair bit smaller, but to be fair, even though he forms most of the torso, this forms everything but the arms, so it makes sense why he's bigger. So we don't judge Kyoryuger for being smaller. Let's also bring in... I have a special one I want to do last, but this will become apparent why I brought him in later. There's Tarantino, which he's still, like, bigger, but again... He's a lot of the robot. And he's a smaller robot. We'll get into that later. And let's see, what else do we got? If you just want to see what it looks like next to a vinyl. Still not to scale, so it don't really matter. But let's bring in Taramigo from Ryusoldier. And I'm actually kind of surprised he's a little bit bigger. Like a head bigger, like especially if you perk his head up, like he is a, like I thought Taramigo was actually going to be bigger, but actually, like if I pull up the camera a little bit, like you can see that, like he has some good height on him, like I know Taramigo isn't as big as some of the other mecha, but I still like them. I think they actually look pretty cool together. They're both very much going for different looks, and I love Taramigo's look. And obviously we will show off Kishiryuo in the other things. Because I remember everyone at the time saying Ryusoldier was very much trying to be Kyoryuger too. Like, and it's like, it's very easy to see why. You know? Also, obviously the feet are ball jointed, so I don't know if I mentioned that. But yeah, they look good together, honestly. I think that's fun. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Like, what side are you on? Like, I know I have a bias with Kyoryuger, so I think that's why. But, you know, it's really cool. They even have... Oh, I punched the microphone, sorry. Too excited. I like how they both even have green eyes. Just pointing out things. Alright, let's move on to the next part. We looked at Gabutyra and showed comparisons for him long enough. So let's get Stegotchi and Dricera in here, and we will see what they do. And here they are. Obviously, I did not take Gabutyra out of the shot because, you know, we have to transform with him later, and, you know, that's just... This shows you how much bigger he is than them. So yeah, we got Stegotchi and Dricera, which I do have some gripes because I wish they still had leg movement, but with how much smaller they are, I get it. Like, I'm not gonna complain. And they really both don't do much. Like, Dricera, you can just pop their tail out and fold that for transformation, or I guess if you want it to do attacks of some sort, and then open the mouth for transformation. Like, it really doesn't have, like, an opening mouth gimmick where it could, like, be like, nom 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 nom, like Gabutyra, so... And, like, Stegotchi is very similar, but you can obviously fold out the blade piece, so it can act like the Jidenchi's in, or you can open the mouth and make it go flying, which you can just leave it on, so that's actually kind of neat. And yeah, you got that, and you can obviously make him bald, and this obviously is Kyoryuzin's sword, and the sword looks so nice. Like, look at that blade. Like, that looks so good. Like, I love the painted blade. It has all 5 of their colors. It looks so good. And you can obviously fold it back. And I was actually surprised to see this, but you can make the shield. So you still can have the shield mode and the sword mode, which I think that's really cool, honestly. But yeah, like, I think these are cute little guys. And I do have some comparisons for them. I guess let's start off with something like Palpion. Palpion's about the same size. Tombo. Like, he's obviously longer, but most of his butt is a sword. So, yeah. Let's bring in some other comparisons. Here's the chart again. Because I don't know. We got... is this Anki Rose? And then I think that's what their name was. I don't remember. I don't remember the Kishiryu's name except for Tiramigo. And I think this was Triken, because I want to say it was a pun. So yeah, I guess if we want to compare Triceratopses, very much a longer snout. But yeah, that's yeah. I'm wondering why people were saying it was like a Kyoryuger 2. No idea. So, that's pretty much both of them. They really don't do a whole lot. But then again, even the original toys didn't do that whole much. They didn't have the electronics or anything. So, let us let's zoom up a little bit and we will get into transformation. So, let's get them ready. So, start off with taking Stegotchi, opening his mouth, take that off. For Dricera, you can just pull out its tail, and then fold this down, and then open that up, and it's ready to go. Which, by the way, I like that they even have detail behind the head plate. I think that's really cool. So, they're ready to go. So, let's get Gabutyra ready. So, we got to take off the tail. We can fold it open like how it used to, but obviously, like I said, there's no housing for it. This will have a reason later, and you want to fold out these clips. There you go. And we'll put that to the side for now. Now, we want to fold the legs down. Fold them down. And then we want to hold this button, hold the gray button, slide it down. Boom. And then we move this up. This will be the crotch. And then we turn his waist this way. Move out his arms like that. So you can have, you want the elbow joints facing this way. So we got that. And maybe click his arms out one. And before we reveal that beautiful head, let's just plug in Gabutyra and Stegotchi. And again, if you really wanted to, you can actually just plop it back on. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to, but you can. So let's just give him, bend his arm, give him a shield, and let's get a close zoom in. Even though, like I said, it's not that well hidden. Let's zoom in on his beautiful mug. Like, in this helmet looks so great. Like, I love that it still has the spikes on the back of the head. I think that's amazing. And yeah, this is, look at that head sculpt. It looks so good. Like, I get it. Especially since it's a ball jointed head. So he can look up, you can look down, you can look over there. Like, we can't see past his shoulder pad though. But you can look around and that looks great. And I love how this looks. I love this robot design. Oh yeah, wait. We almost forgot his most important part. Well, not most important. Okay, you need to have it spaced out a little bit. Clip that one in. Clip that in. And now he is done. There's Kyoryuzin. And again, he looks so good. I'm going to zoom out. Like, he looks so good. He now just has knees. Let's get into his articulation. Obviously, we have those butterfly joints I brought in earlier, so you don't have to worry about hitting the backpack too much. You have a good elbow joint. Like that's a good elbow joint in there. Got a bicep swivel, which is great. So you can honestly get some pretty cool sword attack slash mode poses. Like, especially with the butterfly joint. Let's get into his, by the way, this arm also has the same, and if you're not careful, you will just throw that backpack off. It's not that hard to do, but it just pops back on. But if you really wanted to, you could probably remove it. Same amount of articulation over there. So it's the same thing. Nothing in the fist, obviously. Then the knees can go up that much to the side. Can have a swivel right there. And go, like I said, you can go back pretty far, but you just can't. You're gonna bump into that backpack and break it off. But I guess because of the hinges, you can pull it up and get. That's as far as it will go up before it makes the backpack fly off. So it can go up that much if you really remove his tail cape, if you really wanted to. And you can even get a little bit more articulation out of it, like if you saw what I did there. But he's really probably not supposed to. He obviously has nicely ball-jointed feet, so he can get some pretty wide stances. He has a great knee joint, so he can do all his samba dance moves and get some pretty cool wide stances, and that's amazing. Look at that. Look at how posable this guy is. Like Kyoryuger was great and cool of how posable he was, and giving that to Kyoryuzin is amazing. And the fact that he looks so good, and like you can get so many good poses, you can get so many wide stances too. It's like, because like he was a very mobile robot in the show. Like if you watch Kyoryuger, you know he was a pretty mobile. Like he was dancing. Like if you watch the Kyoryuger episode, you saw like he used the bugs to help him start dancing. Like it looks so good, so good. And you can move these down. But yeah, no. So let's bring in some comparisons. Bring in Gabutyra again. Now he's small. Alright, okay, sorry for the cut there. I had to get my comparisons ready. let's start off with Kyoryuger, and they look good together. They look honestly really good together. I think these guys look great. They're actually like, I think Kyoryuger by his horns, his big beetle horns, is taller, but they're about the same size. I will say Kyoryuzin is definitely a lot bulkier. He is much beefier than Kyoryuger, but they look great. If we want to bring in Tarantula Knight, he is definitely bigger than Tarantula Knight. And if we want to bring in the big boy, Kokosat's King Kokosas Kabuto, he is still definitely bigger than them. We will bring the bugs back in a second. Oh god! Sorry, something fell off camera. Oh wait, something I was going to bring up earlier. If you have the rolling centipede one, he can hold it. So if you bring that in. So if you really want him to have a wrecking ball, if you can't wait for Boompaki, you can use your rolling centipede. Not centipede. Pillbug. You can use the pillbug. Rolling hammer. But yeah, he's a big boy. He's still the big boy. Sadly, he cannot be mixed with King Kokosas Kabuto. We will get to the combinations in a little bit, but let's bring in the last comparison. As we kept seeing me bring up, we got Kyoryuzin 3 Knights. And honestly, I wouldn't mind if he got the FullAction treatment as well. Like, I think they look also really good together. Honestly, but I think if we're not going by shoulder pads, strictly by heads, Kyoryuzin is taller. Like, if we go by his shoulders, Kyoryuzin is taller. So, and this guy's a cool design. It's just, I wish he was posable. He looks great. I love the customizability of this. And do you guys want to see videos of the Kyoryuger that I have? I don't have them all. I'm only missing 2. But if you guys want to see some videos of these guys, I'd be happy to talk about them. Leave your thoughts down in the comments. And what do you guys think? I'm not asking what you guys prefer, because I could see people preferring this over this. But I love this. So, you can get out of here, Kyoryuger. I don't need to look at you anymore. Not that I don't like you. Just, this is Kyoryuzin's time. And this guy's so good. So, let's get into the combination with Kyoryuger stuff. Beforehand, I want to just set up with, we obviously are going to take pieces of Kyoryuger off. We're going to need Tombo. We're going to need Hachi. And I'm just ripping him off camera, by the way. We're going to need that. If you've seen the show, you know he just uses the sword as is. And we're actually going to need Butterfly's head. They tell you what to do with Butterfly's head. So Kuwagon, the spiders, and the ladybugs, you don't need. Just put them off to the side. And before we really get into any of these combos, I'm just going to state this. Tombo just slides onto the backpack here. And the only reason I'm doing what I'm about to do before we get into the full combo is because I don't know if I really trust the stability of these clips to be able to do this, but if you really wanted to, you could technically, they don't show you this in the instructions, slide Tarantula, and if you really bend him forward, he can actually hold on to Tarantula a lot better than Kyoryuger could. So if you really want him to have some Tarantula cannons, you could. That's just a good what if. I don't trust him with the Kyoryuger feat to be able to do it. But yeah, I just thought I would show that off because I thought that was funny. So there you go. I thought I would show you. You can technically use him with Tarantula. None of the other Legend Shoe Gods could you use him with, but you can use him with Tarantula. So, we gotta take off Gabutyra, and you just kind of set them to the side. You don't use Stegotchi or Dricera in these combos. And I'm just trying to get him to come off, because it's that solid of a connection, guys. So yeah, we can put that. Put Stegotchi away. And you pretty much just rip his legs off. Rip his legs off. that up. And you put that up. You put that up. You reveal these two little pegs. And obviously, that is where B will attach. And Kamakiri will attach. And you obviously now have Kyoryugen with some bug boots. Bug boots. And you know what? Let's do the back stuff first, before we get to the arms. The arms are the most involved. So, for the head, you just kind of plug it in. Like I want to say, do you fold it? Oh, wait, I think it goes this way. Yeah. You kind of just keep it right there. There you go. And that's pretty much all what the bugs do. Next is Gabutyra's legs becoming arms, which is weird. I have not really messed around with this mode much yet, so I could see he has very much some interesting balancing maneuvers. So, what you want to do, you grab the leg, you fold that, and you see this hole. We'll peg into this, and you get some massive feet hands. Like, ooh boy. And this arm will plug in where Gabutyra once sat. And you do the same for this one. Just unplug it. Boom. Rotate the fist. And plug it in. And this looks good. And you can give him the sword. You know what? I'm going to give him the sword in his left hand because I feel like it. I don't know how many times we're going to see this in the show, but he still pretty much has all the same articulation. So that's actually pretty cool. He kind of keeps that even in his knees. So his arms are pretty much the same, but now it even has its own arm rotation joint because it has a lot more of a free arm, and it actually has a wrist swivel. The butterfly fell off, but it helped me show the wrist swivel. So it kind of has improved some more articulation than regular Kyoryugen, which is kind of cool. Like I said, I really didn't mess around a lot with this mode before this video because I kind of wanted to leave it as a surprise. Obviously, your thighs will appear more, but you still do have knees, so you can still get some cool wide stances, and that's awesome. So I'm glad that he's still like really posable with the Kyoryuger stuff, and now he has those wings. But obviously, you know he's just meant to be Kyoryugen at the end of the day, but this is really cool. Like, I think the combo works. It's not my favorite. I still think I like regular Kyoryugen more than King Kyoryugen. I think that's his name, by the way, King Kyoryugen. Like, not that I don't think this doesn't look good, but I want Kyoryuger next to him, honestly. I like having Kyoryuger next to him. And I don't know. It's like, I also don't know how I feel about just the feet hanging here. Like, those things are big clompers, and they just were like, what do we do with them? Just throw them in there, I guess. But it doesn't look bad. It does definitely, like, add more to hit in the back and everything. But honestly, it's kind of cool that you can do this at all. The only other thing is, like I said, because he now has much tinier feet, he's not as stable. But hey, I was actually really concerned he wouldn't have his knee joints anymore. And the fact he still has them is awesome. But yeah, no, that's King Kyoryugen pretty much. Like, let's get him back to normal. Because, you know, I want to finish this video with just regular Kyoryugen. Because, you know, I want Dricera and all of them in here for the fun. You can just pop that off. I guess showing you guys how you can put him back together. Oh, a little tough. A little tough to get that unconnected. Take the butterfly. Oh, Kyoryuger's head fell off, but we'll get back to that. Just rip that off, and we pretty much have Kyoryugen left. And we will take the bugs. Oh God, I hit the camera. Okay, all right. And you pretty much just re-extend the legs. Got to hit the button every time to make sure that the legs are going to be able to move. Make sure the T-Rex hands aren't getting caught up in that. And you pretty much just fold the hands back up, fold that. Or I guess if you, no, yeah, you can really, they want you to fold it in. So, fold it in, plug that back in, and they easily just reconnect onto the thighs. There you go. Gotta give a little bit of a push. A little bit. Oh, that was the wrong hole. Yep. Boom. There he is. And we get these guys back in. So yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Kyoryuzin FullAction version? Like, I love him. I keep knocking him over, but I feel like maybe it's because I'm too excited. I'm too excited to talk about this guy. Like, this is such a good toy. Like, honestly. It's a nice, posable toy. It's a good, posable mecha. And it does everything I like about Kyoryuger with a design I love. I really do hope we get more full-action versions of mecha. Like, I'd love to see... Maybe not Tokyo. I don't know if I'd care about Tokyo. Tokyo is cool. It's just, like, I don't know. I'd love to see, like, Shinkano or obviously, I would love to see Abereo, but I don't know if that's even in the cards, even though it's its 20th anniversary. I need to stop being old. Like, I'd love to see more mecha done in this style. I want to see the rest of the Kyoryuger mecha in this style. I would love to see a Plezuon, Tiraidno, but it's like, I just don't know. It doesn't seem like he's really planned to do that, though. Unless they're going to make them all completely new molds to be able to adapt into these clips and all the other things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't have these clips anymore, so those are completely gone. So, I don't know. And I also know that original Kyoryuger mecha kind of did have breaking problems. Like, a lot of these clips are broken on a lot of Kyoryuger stuff nowadays. And again, he just looks so good. He has the paint, the detailing, even the fact that he fuses with Kyoryuger and you can see these fists, they don't really bother me. Like, they look, he just looks how he should, and he looks fantastic. And I've been saying it the whole time in this video, but I really do mean this. Like, if you're a Kyoryuger fan like me, if you love dinosaurs, if you want a cool, solid mecha, pick this guy up. Like, he's great, he's posable, like, he's a decent size also. Like, you could obviously see he's very beefy, he's very chunky, and, like, it's almost a shame that it's coming out this so late in the year, because this might be my favorite thing. Like, it did everything I love about Kyoryuger and gave it to Kyoryuzin with slightly less problems. Like, I love Kyoryuger, but he's not the most stable thing with his tiny feet. But Kyoryuzin is stable as hell, and I love him for it. He can dance. He's gonna dance. Like, I love him. What do you guys think? What do you guys want to see? Do you guys want to see more full-action versions? Do you guys want to see more of the the Kyoryuger stuff? Like, I'm so excited for the Memorial Gabu Revolver. I obviously have one other Kyoryuger video I'm going to be doing, so maybe you'll be seeing that after this one at some point. So, who knows? Tell me down in the comments, what was your guys' first Sentai, you know? Like I said, this was my first Sentai. What was your guys' first Sentai? Tell me down in the comments. And yeah, what do you guys think of this guy overall? Like, are you guys saying he sucks? Because I really want to know why. What are your criticisms of this guy? Like, I really have very few. Like, yeah, there's certain things where it's like, but that's the thing of the mecha and the design, but they actually have some pretty decent workarounds to where you don't have to worry about it too much. So, I don't know. Like, your mileage may vary. So yeah, I don't know. I love this guy, and I hope you guys love him as much as I do. And again, highly recommend him. And I guess thank you so much for watching, and until whatever I do next. Bye.